can't hold on much longer. I will never let go. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not going to sing Crush 40. I'd rather be playing the video game. But we are here to review this movie sequel that we've been waiting to do a movie sequel the longest time. No, like, not just me and Miguel here. Like, our entire channel has been dying to do this for over a year now. It's long overdue, but at least we're here now. We hope you guys are having a wonderful TGIF today, staying safe and hydrated and all that stuff we always tell you at the end of the credits. I'm Mike, your host, and with me is my guest host Miguel. Miguel, how are you doing?
I've been doing quite fine, thank you.
Yeah, and me, it's getting a little too hot for my taste, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. So needless to say, some of the scenes midway into the movie feel so nice because of the environment. And what is the movie that we're talking about? It is the sequel for the ages, the one, the only Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yes, this is the 2022 sequel to the previous 2020 film, and God, it hurts me every time I have to say that the previous movie came out in 2020.
Yeah.
And as you guys have figured out, it is based on the video game series from 1991 by Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog, and is directed by Jeff Fowler and written by Pat Casey et al. This movie had a budget of $90 to $110 million. Miguel, do you want to guess how much money this movie made back?
Let's see. Well, the first one made about 300. I have to say the second one did better, about 500. I want to say.
You're actually not too far off. The total, the box office is $405.4 million. So yeah, it made back roughly 4 times the budget. So commercially, this movie is pretty successful. As for its accolades, it has only been nominated for 4 awards and won 2 additional awards. Idris Elba was nominated for Best Outstanding Award for Black Reel Awards. The Game Awards nominated for Best Adaptation, Golden Trailer, Best Animation, Family Poster nomination, and Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards have nominated Jim Carrie as Favorite Movie Actor. In the same award, show, it did win Favorite Movie, and in the Movie Guide Awards, it won Best Movie for Families. So 2 wins plus 4 additional nominations, and yep, it is scheduled for a sequel. Not just because we saw the end credit scene, but because it was just that successful.
Yeah.
Now, so this movie has a lot of returning actors. Obviously, you got you got Ben Schwartz coming back as Sonic, and you got all of the main human characters reprised by their original actors, including Tom, Maddie, Rachel, which we never mentioned, her daughter Jojo, which we mentioned a little more than Rachel in the last review we did, and Tom Butler, who plays the Olive Garden guy, aka Agent Walters. And most notably, the last but not least, we get the return of Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, which has been reported that this movie is his final performance ever, unless he finds like a golden script that convinces him otherwise that it needs to be made. His words, not mine. But all considered, this is Jim Carrey's final movie. It boggles my brain just hearing that phrase said out loud. Jim Carrey's final movie. So before we get more further into this, let's do a quick sidebar. First question, and ladies and gentlemen of the audience, if you're watching us live, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch us. Please comment in the comment section. If you comment while we are live, we will display your comments right here at the bottom of the screen. because you are part of our conversation. You are part of the Buttery Show family. So feel free to release your voice. So my sidebar question: what was your first Jim Carrey movie, and what was your most favorite Jim Carrey movie?
My first Jim Carrey movie, that would be Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's the first one I remember seeing.
Yeah, and what was your most favorite?
My most favorite one would probably have to have been Liar Liar. I remember yes, when I was younger, I watched that movie quite a bit. I mean, that scene where he's like beating himself up in the bathroom, still one of the funniest. Like,
I love the part where he's got the pen. Like, this pen is not.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that scene was funny. Yeah. Now, for me, my most favorite and my first movie are actually the same movie. Now, I'll give you guys a hint. This is actually Jackie Sislowski's most favorite movie of all time. Jackie Sislowski is the yellow grid battle force ranger, and to me, it's my second most favorite movie of all time. In fact, I got it right here on DVD.
oh, The Mask, nice.
Yeah. I've had so many bootleg VHS copies of this film, so needless to say, I'm particularly happy that I have the official DVD of this. Actually, I have two DVDs of this. So this DVD where it's just a movie by itself, and also I have the double pack featuring the sequel, Son of the Mask.
Ooh.
But this is the one I have displayed because I love the cast of Son of the Mask. Not a fan of the script.
No.
I also have the official movie poster of this movie, but unfortunately, unlike Cody, I do not have it autographed. So that's sad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right next to my poster for True Lies, which is my all-time favorite Schwarzenegger movie. So
nice.
yeah. Let's see. But we do have a newcomer, a very important newcomer to the cast. I mean, we could say, yeah, Colleen O'Shaughnessy is a new character, miles Tales per hour. But thing is, she did have one speaking line at the end of the credits of the previous movie, so I cannot count O'Shaughnessy as a new character. But there is one other person who is definitely a new character that we have to address. Idris Elba as Knuckles the Echidna. What were your thoughts on their announcement that Idris Elba is gonna play Knuckles?
Idris Elba playing Knuckles, I'm thinking, I wonder how he's going to pull off the character. And then when I saw like the first trailer that actually showed Knuckles, he was like, "Does it look like I need your power?" That's something. Okay, yeah, he's going to do all right with this.
Yeah, I was apprehensive at first because I grew up with the video game Knuckles as well as Sonic X Knuckles, and let's be honest, Sonic Boom Knuckles, the TV show, not the video game. So it's like I have like this very specific voice in mind, and I thought he was going to be a knucklehead like he always is. And so I'm like, Idris Elba as Knuckles. You're talking about Black Superman, really? Black Superman as Knuckles, and honestly, like I could verify the Black Superman thing because if you've ever seen that season 5 episode of The Office where he first shows up and he's wearing those glasses, I swear, like for half a second you don't even recognize him. So for all you people complaining about Clark Kent not being a good disguise, y'all better watch yourself because because Charles is. I'm Black. I need to say it right. I'm Black Clark Kent. Yes, I'm well aware that women are attracted to me. I just don't really do anything about it. Oi, Jim, you want to play football? But yeah, no, I love Idris Elba from the show Luthor, which actually was nominated, where he was nominated for Best Actor in the Golden Globes.
Yes.
along with Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black in the same year. So great job, BBC, on your cast. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with that in mind, him being having such a sexy and suave voice, I was like really apprehensive about him playing Knuckles. But like you said, when he said, "Do I look like I need your power?" I'm like, okay, Black Superman, you sold me on the Red Echidna. You
Yeah.
sold me. You sold me on this. Great job. So yeah, like this was a phenomenal performance, and he is actually he played both sides of Knuckles. If you ask me, like he's both an idiot and a competent fighter, and I actually respect that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in this movie, Sonic is trying to become a vigilante superhero in Seattle, which, believe it or not, is an actual thing in Seattle because much like in another Jim Carrey movie, Kick-Ass 2, Seattle does actually have like a group of vigilante superheroes
Hmm.
fighting crime, and one of them got into some serious heat uh, because they were not using you know they're not deputized, and they
Yeah.
made some really bad mistakes. So what's funny is that they had to disclose their secret identity in court because they were being sued.
Oh yeah.
It was a very interesting case, but hey, reality imitates fiction, I suppose.
Suppose
But
it.
with that said, Sonic, he's trying to become vigilante superhero, and of course Tom has to have that beautiful Uncle Ben talk where it's like, with great power comes great responsibility. And also, like, I'm still loving the way CG is rendered around the live action elements. Like, there's a part where he has to like scoop Sonic out of the lake.
Yeah.
It's like, despite all the overlaps between Tom's hand and Sonic's body, it's like, wow, they actually did a really good job rendering the CGI elements.
They
Of
did.
course, yeah, they did. And of course, they try to get rid of the human characters, which goes back to the whole conversation we had about listening to the fans. By having Tom and Maddie go to a destination wedding in Hawaii for Rachel and her suspiciously too attractive fiance.
Played by Shamar Moore. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I a lot of people complained in the previous movie that, like, oh, the too many human elements. Like, we want just Sonic and Eggman, but it's like, at least in that movie they gave a good reason to include those human elements.
Yeah.
But I know some people criticize this movie that there's like a wedding scene and a subsequent scene that was completely unnecessary, but honestly, it kind of wasn't.
Yeah.
It sets up things, but also please consider that we're taking all of the human scenes that would have otherwise been scattered across the movie and consolidating them into a single segment so that everything before it is almost no random human characters, and after that, no random human characters. Isn't that what you guys wanted?
In a way, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sonic's having a house party, but Eggman comes back, and yeah, Robotnik, has a new look. And I'm gonna be honest, like, I wasn't buying the physical appearance of Jim Carrey as Eggman in the first movie, but here he is killing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, I remember we had that, like, we had that screenshot where like he put like those glasses on, but it's like, yeah, like they're keeping up with it. I love it. I love it.
They are.
Yeah, and after like an intense fight scene where Sonic was being severely overpowered, he gets rescued by Tails, which we've seen from the previous movie make an appearance. And Tails is an adventurous engineer from another star system, came to warn Sonic about Knuckles' arrival. So what are your thoughts about that fight sequence with Knuckles and the chase sequence with Tails?
Honestly, that was a great way to introduce the characters, and have them their first interaction with Sonic. I mean, it kind of does mimic how it was in the games. I mean, when Sonic and Knuckles were first live enemy because Robotnik tricked Knuckles into thinking, "Hey, these guys are coming to steal the Master Emerald, so you need to stop them." When in reality, it was Robotnik who wanted the Master Emerald.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Like one of the most annoying tropes in the Sonic franchise is how Eggman always tricks Knuckles into fighting against Sonic. And the thing is, if he does it once, shame on him. Does it multiple times, shame on you. Does it a third or subsequent time, Knuckles, seriously, how much shame can you handle?
Yeah.
But at least here, it actually makes a lot more sense because one, he doesn't know Eggman is sinister. Two, he has he has pre-existing beef with Sonic because the as it's revealed in the movie that Longclaw was the undoing of the Echidna tribe, and they were a warrior race. Keep that in mind. And this was canon in the video games because the Echidnas were wiped out by chaos when Tikal explicitly said, "No, we must not use the chows or the power of chaos to use for war," and then it became their undoing and stuff. But here, it's like Longclaw's more like, "Yeah, I can't let you have the one ring, so I'm gonna take your one emerald."
Oh yeah.
And of course, Sonic and Tails go on a fellowship to find the Master Emerald, the one emerald to rule them all. And yeah, and it's like look, if the enemy of my enemy, okay, the enemy of my friend is also my enemy, so come on, Fluffy, let's go.
Yeah.
I love it's a great nod where Agent Stone, he gets a job as a barista in the Mean Bean.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, there was a spin-off game called Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and it's kind of like Dr. Mario in a sense. And I love that they actually reference that game in this context. Yeah. So the chase is on, and we get a very controversial scene right here: the dance-off.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the dance-off scene?
Honestly, I actually thought it was kind of funny. I mean, I don't get what all the controversy was about.
Yeah, a lot of people were not fans of it and thought it was unnecessary. But honestly, I thought it not only lightened up the tension, because there is a lot of tension in this movie if you really read between the lines, as Spider Kumanos would say, but also this actually gives some character building between Sonic and Tails. Think of it like the bar scene with Sonic and Tom from the previous movie, where they needed some kind of distraction to bond over, and here Tails exhibits his both competence and the occasional incompetence in technology. Ваши говяжные пахнут как какашки. Which means your beef stew smells like poo. Yeah. No, I love the dance-off scene. And for those of you wondering, yes, in Siberia they do all sorts of crazy sports. Like, for example, there's an actual league where two dudes are completely shirtless and they take turns slapping each other.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do this, but this is an actual sport in Siberia. I got nothing to say. For the record, I come from a country that comes with these flag colors, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. But сколько водки вы выпили вообще? Скажите правду. No, and of course we get this animated sequence where we find out the history behind the echidnas and the owls, and it was pretty cool. But then we get one of my favorite scenes from Sonic Adventure.
Ah, yeah, the escape from the snowboarding scene. Yep, escape from the
snowboarding scene. Yeah, yeah. For those of you who don't know, which you should, Sonic Adventure had a snowboard sequence. It was really fun. It was one of my favorite segments of the game. Not so much of a fan of the whole climbing the icicles thing and then jumping off the icicles, but definitely a fan of the snowboard scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and meanwhile, we do have a wedding scene happening simultaneously in a B plot that doesn't even show up like 2/3 into the movie. Guys, we're quite serious. Like, the human characters are barely in the movie. Respect. But what were your thoughts about the whole like snowboard chase and avalanche escape?
Honestly, that was actually a really well put together choreographed scene.
Yeah.
And when Sonic's using the rings to like, and he thinks, "Oh, I'm gonna get myself to Hawaii to get out of here." That was pretty clever. I mean, I also like the little nod that when he's calling Tom, his ringtone was the Green Hill zone from the first Sonic game.
Yeah, I actually, one thing I really liked about it is that, I mean, obviously this movie happened before the other movie I'm going to reference, but there was this one movie that came out recently, which is a sequel. I think it's called Searching. It's like there was like a movie where like this Korean FBI agent's like looking for his daughter through social media, and then there was a sequel where like this black teenage girl, like her mom is missing, and then like she uses social media to to find her, like because she went on vacation in Colombia. Yeah, so like there's like a scene in that movie where like she uses a live feed from a camera to contact Alexa from the other end, from the opposite computer end.
Nice.
So she's like trapped in this one building, and then she manages to contact Alexa from her at her house through the use of the Zoom feed in order to contact the police. And like that was like really clever. When I saw that actually reminded me of this scene from Sonic where like he uses the video feed in order to get Tom to like create a portal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where we get what is probably the biggest plot twist in the entire movie. The whole wedding is known as Operation Catfish. Turns out Rachel's fiance was not only a CIA agent, but also he's part of a new government sect known as the what's it called? God, I forgot the name of it. Hold on. The Guardian Unit of Nations, also known as GUN.
Yeah.
And of course, all of Guardian guys there too. So Guardian Unit, so like everyone on the groom's side, including the priest, is a gun agent. And it's just like, is the lady that waxed an agent? Is JoJo an agent? She's like, Mom! I'm not gonna lie though, it would have been funny if JoJo really was an agent. Just saying. And of course, like Sonic and Tails get arrested, and Tails like badly injured. So we get the longest human scene and the one that people think is unnecessary, but I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. So we got Rachel and Maddie taking Tails' tools and fighting back against the gun agents. What were your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't really a bad scene. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I can see why some people felt it was out of place, but honestly, it actually worked well in the movie. It's not like the casino planet from The Last Jedi where that was completely pointless. This had some relevance to the plot, so major point for it.
Honestly, the entire snow planet was useless in the 9th movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like honestly, this was fun. Like especially how like Maddie and Rachel don't even know what Tails' tools even do, but somehow they still make it work.
Yep.
But one thing I especially loved was the one where like Rachel like did a Blade reference where like she had that boomerang thing. It's like I did not mean to do that.
Yeah.
And then when she finally confronts her fiance and Agent Walters, she's like, "This could be a gun. Maybe it's a toy. I don't know what it does. Do you want to find out?" And then she accidentally blasts the cake and says, "Oh, this is real now." As much as like I hated Rachel in the first movie because you gotta have that archetype of that sister-in-law that doesn't like your guts. I get it. We've all seen what's her name, the sister-in-law from Bringing Down the House.
Yeah.
The one that took Tybo. Missy Pyle is the actress who played her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but here, like this was her redemption arc right here. She blew up an entire helicopter single-handedly. It's like hell hath no fury like a bride scorned. No, really, like it's her special day. Don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it, Tom. Classic. But of course, we do find out. So we get one more like temple run scene after this. After like Sonic is, after like they revive Tails, and obviously, Knuckles does find out that, yeah, he's been bamboozled. He's been blue dude bamboozled. He's been yellow feller endeavored. The red dude needs to get his redemption. Dr. Eggman gets the emerald and he goes on a crazy power trip and summons a giant Hulkbuster mecha. And I'm gonna be honest, I love the animation on this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like even like the way the fingers are animated are very reminiscent of Eggman and cutscenes. It's like first I'm gonna conquer Green Hills, then the rest of the universe, then the multiverse. Will I be satisfied? Who knows? But you won't be in it. I'm like, yeah, they really put Jim Carrey's brain into Dr. Eggman's physical body.
They did.
Like, But of course, that's when we have to get the scene that we've been dying to see. Sonic Heroes, find you, confide you, dividing your reign. I love this, especially when they were like running down that street.
Yes.
That was so exciting. And of course, like Sonic was about to get defeated by Eggman, along with Tom and Maddie. And of course, they're like, if we're gonna go out, at least we're gonna go out as family.
Yep.
I mean, look, you got Black Superman from Hobbs and Shaw. Do you expect me not to make that reference?
Of course, you had to.
And of course the Master Emerald breaks apart, revealing the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and we finally get Supersonic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh boy. What were your thoughts on this scene?
It was a good way to like finally introduce Supersonic. And I mean, yeah, I know the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emeralds were separate in the game, but finding out that the Chaos Emeralds were hidden inside of it was a neat little twist. And a great way to like introduce Supersonic into the lore.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like confused because like I feel like in a movie, you could either just do the Master Emerald or do the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Or heck, have the Master Emeralds separate into 7 fragments and then they meld into the 7 emeralds, kind of like the Ninja Star from Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Yep.
Where the giant shuriken gets fractured and the individual fragments get turned into the individual shuriken that the Rangers use to morph.
Yeah. Or like Zelda Wind Waker when like you had to find the 8 pieces of the Triforce of Courage.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. But it is. I know, but at least now they are separated because like after like Sonic defeats Eggman in the most brilliant way possible, mind you, he recreates the Master Emerald while the individual 7 emeralds get scattered across the world like Dragon Balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we get a scene where that takes things full circle. We got a baseball scene, but this time Sonic isn't just the fastest. Just isn't just the fastest hedgehog. He's also truly rich. He has friends.
Yes.
Richie Rich.
I remember that movie.
Yeah, because if you recall, like the whole story started with Sonic playing baseball by himself, but now he has friends to play baseball with, and it's just so adorable.
Yeah.
Even Knuckles is like, we will try the cream of ice, and it will have sprinkles and nuts. It's like, wow, sprinkles and nuts. Wow, you're in for one crazy adventure, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no movie is complete unless it's Spider-Verse 2 without an end credit scene. And of course, at the wedding scene when they when Walter said that we are the guardian units of nations, I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna tease Project Shadow? Because you can't just have guardian units of nations without Project Shadow. And
Mm-hmm.
as the end credits roll, we get some whispers to Agent Walters that Eggman's still around, and there is going and he stole some files, among which is a file from 50 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, here we go, 50-year-old files. I know where this is going. That's right. He knows about Project Shadow, and I was like, yes, yes, yes,
Ooh.
yes, yes. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, yes, I still have the GameStop sticker because it's pre-owned, but still.
Sweet.
Yeah. Needless to say, there's gonna be a fourth. Needless to say, there's gonna be a fourth movie,
There you go. Yeah.
and you know that there's going to be. Wait, hold on. Huh, it's not here. Oh well. Okay. Well, we're definitely getting a spin-off with Knuckles the Echidna. Bet
Yes.
you guys thought I was gonna say Shadow the Hedgehog, didn't you?
Well, yeah. There was the Knuckles spinoff, which just added like Christopher Lloyd to the cast.
Yep. Yep, and it's going to be on Paramount Plus. So if anyone wants to privateer the password to me, feel free to do so in the DMs. Just saying. Be sure to support the official release and whatnot. Cough, 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 cough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Knuckles getting his own spin-off. Can't wait to see that. Okay, so let's do the follow-up questions before we go into our scores. What was your favorite stunt sequence in this movie?
My favorite stunt sequence? That would probably be the scene like where they're like doing the snowboards, because it was a great way to kind of just implement like Sonic and Tails like getting to Tom and all the others and like setting up all those pieces that were necessary for like the climax.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I agree because as good. It's like there were no bad stunt sequences in this movie. Like legit, there were no bad stunt sequences in this movie. But snowboarding was my favorite because, aside from the nostalgic trip right here, there's also the aspect of like you see like Sonic like navigating all these lasers and he's fighting Knuckles while he's on snowboard and it is like the perfect scene to show the content of Sonic's character, because he's being told it's like it's not just about taking care of yourself, it's about being responsible for others. Tails got injured in this scene, and Sonic felt Tails' blood in his own hands. I mean, Tails isn't dead, but he does feel the blood weighing on his hands. And it also really showed his character to Knuckles, because it's like, why did he help the fox instead of getting the compass? There's no tactical advantage to this, and of course, like this, like sows seeds of doubt within Knuckles, because one, it shows that Eggman doesn't care about friends. Sonic does.
Yeah.
Two, it makes the betrayal make more sense. And three, you gotta love the fact that Knuckles always assumes that Sonic is his enemy, and therefore everything has to be a tactic. It's like you saved me. Whatever clever tactic you think that was going to be, it won't work. It's like, I wasn't doing a tactic. I just didn't want you to get hurt. Why would you not want to hurt me? I am your enemy. He's like, because it's not about taking care of yourself. It's about being responsible for others.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. They drive the whole Spider-Man thing in. And by the way, they actually do name drop Batman in this movie while we're at it. Yeah. Yes. So I love that. I love that they like make all these pop culture references in a way that don't feel like they're out of place. Like Wayne's World with the Doritos.
Oh yeah, when they're poking fun about all that.
And then the Pizza Hut
things because they get paid, and that's just sad.
And then they drink their Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not sellouts, man. Okay, who is your favorite character in this entire film?
Well, alongside for Sonic, I'd have to say, Knuckles was probably the breakout star. I mean, Idris Elba really knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, I would have to agree, because Knuckles, like we've had so much of idiot Knuckles over the past 20 years. And the thing is, people forget that Knuckles was a very competent person every now and then. And heck, they even make a joke about that in Sonic Boom, where Amy's it's like, will the female football player be able to score a goal and break the glass window? Something. It's like Amy, by pointing out to gender norms, you're undermining the whole aspect of equality by saying that you are the exception and not the status quo. Well, just because I'm a meathead doesn't mean I'm not a feminist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the record, the official character description in Sonic Heroes does say that Dr. Eggman is a romanticist and a feminist. So take that as you will. And I'm like, well, to be fair, he does kidnap Tails as often as he kidnaps Rose. So yeah, he's an equal opportunity kidnapper. So yeah. So yeah, he's a feminist. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, Jim. So how do you feel about this being Jim Carrey's final role? And of course, he did say that if there was a golden script that would warrant me coming back to perform that script, I would. So my question is, how do you feel with Jim Carrey being his last performance, and what do you imagine that golden script would be if that script was ever written?
If this is for real his final role, he picked a good one to go out on. I mean, this is a high point. I mean, and at least he's getting to pick, this is my final role. I'm done. I mean, so at least he has that option. So I'm glad he chose to go out on a high note. I mean, he didn't get saddled with a really crappy or Sean Connery when he did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and then that turned him off from doing any more.
Yeah.
Movies after that.
Yeah. No, it's sad that was one of his last films. Like I would have loved, because one thing I would have always wanted to see was have a movie where all 6 James Bonds team up.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I had that idea before No Way Home happened, just to be clear. I know no one's gonna be a fan of Lazenby. I get it. No one likes Lazenby as James Bond, but it would still be cool to get all 6 James Bonds together for like one final hurrah. And yes, you could kill off Sean Connery at the end. You know, honestly, I did not hate League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It had some good ideas despite the movie's writing flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love the concept too. It's like you got figures from fictional stories. Like I would love to get more like Fearless Fog. Like maybe he might make an Iron Man suit or uh let's see, what are other characters from that time period? I mean, we got Mina, so there's no point. So like, we don't need any Bram Stoker characters. Um, we'll think of something. I mean, maybe a Mary Shelley character could pop up in the sequel.
That could work, yeah.
Yeah, because if we have Dracula, we could always have Frankenstein. Let's see. So we know that there's going to be a third movie and a Knuckles spin-off. So first, what do you think the Knuckles spin-off would be about?
The Knuckles spin, I could see it kind of being like more about Knuckles and his time with the Echidna tribe, and then or it could be like him getting used to living in the human world with Sonic and Tails.
Yeah, no, I'll say this: if they those are the two things I was thinking of. But if they are gonna do like a continuation where it's like it takes place after the second movie, I really do hope that we are introduced to more Sonic characters because I want to see Team Chaotix.
Yeah.
In this universe, because I know a lot of people like Sonic or Tails or Shadow or Knuckles, but me, it's all about Vector the Crocodile. Vector is my favorite character.
Nice.
We're Team Chaotix, the world's greatest detectives, and we never say no to work that pays. Yeah, work that pays. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. So we gotta have Team Chaotix show up either in the third movie or in the Knuckles spin-off. But I think introducing them in the Knuckles spin-off would be the safe bet because it's like there's like low risk and like they could be like a one-off in a single episode, kind of like Daredevil in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you got to write the script for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which as we all know will more than likely be based on Sonic Adventure 2, are there any particular points you want to include into this live action adaptation?
If anything, I just have the climax play Live and Learn by Crush 40.
Yeah, I hate that Crush 40 are still not doing any soundtracks in these movies. We need Crush 40.
We do.
Because they're always crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously we do need to introduce Amy Rose.
We do.
I don't know whether or not they're going to introduce Rouge the Bat, but she'll make but she's always a fantastic foil to Knuckles.
She is.
But the main issue would be like having too many characters because again, we need to find ways to justify Tom and Maddie being absent from the film. And like Sonic 2, they did a great job. They're on vacation in Hawaii, and we're just focusing on Sonic. And it just happens to like overlap with the B plot. But yeah, I mean the good thing is like we don't have to worry about introducing Big the Cat or E102 Beta.
Yeah.
No, yeah, E102 Gamma because the only thing we need to include in this third movie are just Amy and Rouge. That's it. Those are the only two new characters we need.
Yeah.
I'm curious who they're gonna get to play Maria, if at all. I mean, they should though. But I'll say this: if I had to put my money on anyone, I would say the little girl who played Megan in the movie Megan. I think she would make an excellent Maria.
I think so too.
Yeah. Now, because this is the last movie with Jim Carrey, I do have to wonder what are they going to do with Eggman because they did specify in an interview that they definitely have no plans of recasting Dr. Eggman should Jim Carrey follow through on his retirement plans.
Yes.
So they don't know. So it's all up in the air as to how much involvement Dr. Eggman will have, if at all.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that Gerald Robotnik should definitely be played by a different actor. And that being the case, who do you think would be the best to play Gerald Robotnik?
Gerald Robotnik.
Yeah.
Someone who could kind of match the. There's not many people who can match Jim Carrey's energy in that, so that's a good question.
I mean, I would think that Michael Chiklis with a mustache might work in terms of physicality, but I'm curious, like, would his voice translate very well into it?
That's true.
Yeah.
Be like, or like having Jason Statham. Nah.
Jason, that would be funny though. Oi, mate, this is the ultimate life form, and he's going to destroy the moon using the Eclipse cannon. Now go get the Chaos Emeralds and make sure you don't make any deals with the Black Aliens. Oh man, but you know what I would love about it is if you got. It just occurred to me, if Knuckles is played by Idris Elba, Gerald Robotnik is played by Jason Statham, then they absolutely have to get Vector the Crocodile voiced by Vin Diesel. No, not Vin Diesel, by Dwayne Johnson.
I'd be down for that.
Hobbs and Shaw, Electric Boogaloo. Hobbs and Shaw, Electric Boogaloo. Things are gonna get supersonic. Okay, so let's start wrapping things up. Score out of 10 and why?
Honestly, we'll see from that, I'd have to say this was a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, it took a lot of what was good about the first movie, improved on it. I mean, it did a good job of condensing the human characters' plots down to like this one particular like portion of the movie. It brought in more characters, expanded upon everything, and honestly, it came off really well. I mean, and it had Jim Carrey's possibly final performance go out on a high note. So a solid 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also agree. This movie is a 9 out of 10 for me because, but it's definitely a higher. Actually, no, I give the previous movie an 8. So yeah, this movie's definitely a 9 because it's definitely a lot more solid than the previous one. It utilizes the characters, both human and CGI, very well. Jim Carrey is both more animated and he's closer to the Ivo Robotnik character than he was in the previous film. Not just in appearance, but also just like mannerisms and behavior. And, I actually have a lot of respect for that. It's good that we get both Tails and Knuckles showing up in this movie, and we get that beautiful three-person scene where they're like running through the city, because it's like Sonic Heroes is one of my most favorite Sonic games, and not just because it's the first game where you play as Vector, but also just the overall game. It was just really enjoyable. I know a lot of people hate the cameras and the textures, but look, it's a 2003 GameCube game. It's good as is, and honestly, I liked it a lot more than Adventure 2 to the blasphemous ears of others. It does make me sad that this is Carrie's last performance, but considering how far he's come, it's good that he ends on a high note, because honestly, I did not care for Mr. Popper's Penguins or the character he played in Kick-Ass 2.
Yeah.
Or Dumb and Dumber 2 felt lackluster, and his character from The Office wasn't that memorable. So it's like
in 2010s, Jim Carrey was going through what Keanu Reeves was going through in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is Jim Carrey's John Wick.
It is.
With that said, James Carrey, I hope that you like I hope you have a pleasant retirement, but I also hope that you come back just to play Robotnik, but then refuse all other roles. So it's like you're semi-retired, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much we could still do with Eggman, and I want to see more Eggman, and because you did such a great job. Like I can't imagine other people doing a live action Eggman better than you have thus far. And in the end, thank you for an amazing 30 years. Well, for me, it's 30 years. I know that, like, for other people, it might have been longer. For other people, it might be less. But for me, The Mask came out in 1994. I was still in my home country when I first saw this film, dubbed in Russian. And this was the very first American film I've ever seen in my entire life, and I loved it. And I still love it to this day. And yeah, it's my number 2 favorite film of all time, and it wouldn't be possible without Jim Carrey. And I'm glad that one of the best video game movies of all time is also includes him playing such a memorable villain. So thank you, Jim, for all your work in your acting career.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what did you, our lovely people in the audience, think of this movie? Let's go to the comments. Triple O X-Ray Z said, I love this movie. Yep, it was pretty good. 10 out of 10. Glad you loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to see Shadow in the third. Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I want to see, I'm actually interested to see how they change things up because, again, like film adaptation. Yeah. I will miss Jim Carrey. Yeah, we all will. Well, that's it for the comments, guys. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to ding the bell icon on the YouTube to see notified for all of our latest videos. Our next movie that we're going to be reviewing for Game Month will be the 19th. Well, this is actually a special request by Cody from Cody House of Geeks himself. He's the guy who does our beautiful thumbnails from on the show, and he had personally requested that we especially do this film in honor of the new Super Mario Brothers movie. That is none other than the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Starring Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper. Is it good as we remember it? Is it bad as we remember it? Did we change our minds on it? What, how did our opinions change? Like, does it hold up? Well, we're going to discuss it on this Monday, June 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and in Cody's case, 8 p.m. Central. Of course, Miguel will be coming back here as well, and Cody will be joining us for that review because he's just dying to review that with us. So if you're a fan of growing up in the 90s and Cody's House of Geeks, definitely stay tuned on Monday. And of course, you want to check out, be sure to also check out our sister channel, the Morphin Network, where it's Morphin Time all the time, where we're currently reviewing Kamen Rider Geats and Osama Sentai King Oger. Geats we do on Tuesdays, King Oger on Thursdays, both shows, 7:15 Pacific, 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. We also have released a few new interviews. We've got John Twee from Hobbs and Shaw, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. See how we did that plug right there? Who played Doggy Kruger and Dagger on the Solaris Knight. And we also have Wally Wingert, who did Psycho Blue, as well as various video game characters like Riddler from the Arkham games. So be sure to check out those 2 interviews. And we have one more along the horizon, and then we're going to make another batch right after that. If you want to check out our personal content, Miguel, where can we find you?
You can find me over on Instagram at That Blue Dinosaur Guy.
And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, this is our last review before Father's Day, so be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, wear weather appropriate attire like this, Sonic 2 shirt officially from Cinemark. And yeah, and spend time with your father or your daddy figure, whether you have a Joestar for a dad or if you have Piccolo for a dad. Make sure you give your dad a hug, spend some time with them, maybe grill some barbecue with them. Whatever he likes to do, you do it. And have a great Father's Day weekend. Bye, guys.
All right.